everyone, welcome back to another one of my builds. Today I'm going to be showing you a build that I did using a reference photo that I found off of the internet. This is a farm style house, but like a little bit more of a modern house, kind of like trendy house that people build all the time. I do like this style house, so obviously, you know, this is one of my go-to styles, but this house is very expensive. It is 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom house. It does have an office and a garage, so you know there's a little bit of wasted area, but you know, other than that, it did cost though 103,757 simoleans, so you know it is expensive. But if you're planning on like having like 1 child and you've got a good career, boom, there you go, you're set. You've got a nice house. Also should mention right away, this house has a ton of CC in it. It is primarily CC. The reference photo obviously is more, like the windows are more modern, and we don't have anything that I thought fit in like just the regular Sims game. So I used CC windows for this build. And because I used the CC windows, I was like, may as well go all out and, you know, use CC throughout the whole house. So basically the entire house, all the furniture, even the exterior siding on the house, I'm sorry, is CC. So yeah, there's that. But I pretty much use the same CC creators every single time I do a build that involves CC. So you can either look at Peacemaker, Harry, or Lil Dika. I think those are pretty much the only things that I used in this build, so you should be set with just those 3 creators. I know they have a ton of content, but you know, I'm sorry. Obviously, like I said, there's a garage which has a lot of wasted space, so I did put like a decorative car in there sized up so that it looked like it was actually being used. It's got shelving in it. But normally if I have a garage in one of my builds, and you know, it's a lot of wasted space, so I usually make it into like a gym or a big office or a spa, or I make it into like a studio for like painting or doing like, what is that stuff you do with the flowers? the I keep wanting to say pottery, but you know what I'm talking about, the flower arranging, that's what it is. So yeah, that's what I would do with it at least. The house does have a easel in one of the bedrooms, but that's pretty much it. There are only a few different things that you can actually like do for activities in the house. That is my pattern. You know, I focus more on like the aesthetic of it and how it looks than the cost or the functionality of it. And you know, that's where I'm at. Also, you will need to put move objects on for this build. I think it'll probably delete some of the stuff on the walls and stuff like that. Also, the shelving in the garage has like a few things that are alt placed on it, and that will definitely delete if you don't have move objects on when you place this down. Not that you will, but you know, if you did, just a little PSA. Also, it does have a big garden area in the front, but I wanted that. Obviously in the reference photo you can see it's got a decently sized garden in the front with like really fancy looking plants and stuff like that, but obviously they've got like these tiny little like cone bushes that look really nice in the garden area. We only have these super round bushes, so I kind of had to like just use that. We didn't have anything that looked how I wanted it to, so I just kind of filled this in. The reference photo also doesn't have like any underbrush, so it's just all like just these plants kind of like placed kind of far from each other, but it doesn't look empty. Like it looks really nice in the reference photo, so I tried to replicate that in the Sims. I don't think it looked as nice, but you know, I guess you can't really tell that much that it looks a lot like worse. I struggled a little bit for the layout of the upstairs, but the downstairs was super easy because you've got the garage, the living room, the kitchen, and the dining room, and that's it. And obviously, I mean, it's pretty easy to decide a layout for that. I mean, they're basically all the same in all of my builds. you know, I stick to the same thing pretty much. But I do really like the exterior of this house, which is why I did it. So that's pretty much my only reason for doing it, obviously. And also I'm thinking I'm going to do like a floor plan build. But the only thing with that is normally when I'm doing builds, I have an idea in my head of what I'm doing. If I'm doing a floor plan build, I'm going to have to like figure out the outside completely, which is fine. It's just going to take me a little bit more like finicky, you know, I'm going to mess with it more. So there's that, but I can cut that out, I suppose. So also these cabinets are so pretty. These are like my favorite cabinets. There's also like a swatch with like coppery handles to it, and I love copper handles so much. I should have done that, but I didn't do that, so it's fine. I did want to do like a really, really big island, but I wanted half of it to be like an island, like with the counter hanging over, and the other half to be like a regular, like, what do you call that, cabinet, whatever. But it didn't fit because the like corners weren't lining up, like one was not flush with the other, so I didn't like I just kept it with like a regular island. But it's fine. This couch too that I'm gonna pick, I really want to do a leather like brown couch in a lot of my builds, but because I go with like generally I go with like a darker floor, it never really looks right. It always like clashes way too much. So I went with a black couch, still leather looking, but it's not like the brown that I really, really crave to do. But I also wanted to go with a lighter floor with this build because it's not something that I do. It's not necessarily something that I like. I know a lot of people really, really like light wood flooring, but I like dark wood flooring, like gray, dark brown, even black. I love how that stuff looks. So that's something that I gravitate more towards when I'm building. But obviously, you know, I gotta get out of the comfort zone a little bit. And I do actually like how this turned out. I like how grainy the flooring is, like how it's a bit more like textured basically. But yeah. Also, I really wanted a table to match the coffee table in the living room, but I couldn't find one that matched it. The one that technically matches it is like rounded, and I wanted square. Like I feel like when you're going for a farmhouse, really square wooden things are like the vibe. So it didn't really work for me to do like a rounded table on like, it was like counter height too. It wasn't like a regular height table, so I didn't think it worked that well. As you can see, the upstairs is a little bit wonky, but it worked. It ended up working. Like I said, bathroom, there's a little office up there and 2 bedrooms. You could, honestly, I was gonna put a bathroom downstairs in between the kitchen and the living room because there's kind of like a gap in the wall. I ended up just putting like a window there, but I really wanted to put a bathroom there. And then I was like, no, because that's the side that you can see in the reference photo. So you're going to know that that's not like the accurate layout of it. And I was like, I'm painting for reference for a reason. I'm painting, oh my God. Not painting from reference. That's something you do in The Sims, not with The Sims. Anyways, so I didn't do that, but I probably would if I were actually playing in the house. Mind you, it is over 100,000 simoleons. That's a lot of money to pay for just 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. It's like really not logical, but it's fine. We're here. We did it. I mean, it's pretty at least, in my opinion. Also, these beds, I have never used these beds before. Probably because they're like, you have to unlock them or whatever, I think. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe I just don't see it whenever I'm like building. But I use these beds, just 2 of the same bed. They're just different like swatches. I think it's from, oh my God, I can't remember the pack name, but you know the one probably. If you don't, you will eventually. You'll look through your options and see it. So yeah, like I said, pretty much everything is CC. The only thing that isn't CC in the house, truthfully, is the flooring inside, the walls inside. Even the bathroom is not CC, the walls in the bathroom. The toilet isn't CC. I think that's it. There might be like one plant that isn't CC in this build. There's the garage. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of wasted space there. At first, like, I started doing it and I almost made that into a bedroom. And I was like, oh, right, we're painting from reference. This is a garage. I'm going to have to make this a garage. But I also really like how it looks in The Sims to have a garage. So I'm really conflicted against, like, should I have a garage? Should I not have a garage? But this obviously gave me a reason to do that. So, you know, win-win. Also, those are the boxes that are gonna, like, or not boxes. Those are the things that are gonna, like, delete if you place this without putting move objects on, because they're technically, like, floating in the air. So, yeah, just keep in mind. You might lose a few things. Although, it's not that important if you do lose them. It's literally just a box and books, so who really cares, honestly? So yeah, we're almost done now. This is pretty much it. I add a few rugs in, you know, just, like, to make it look less, like, bland, I guess. I feel like the upstairs is so bright and the downstairs is so dark, but yeah, so there is the build. Thank you so much for watching.